Hey, trying to make a quick tutorial for Noah Kahan's Great Divide. Share high play. It sounds like this. I just want to add on to some great tutorials, basic tutorials that are already out there, to share some other key bits like what you just heard. And that's how I like to play that big bridge solo section. If it's of interest to you, stick around. I hope you threw a brick right into that stained glass. I hope you're with someone who isn't scared to ask. Great song. Okay, so like you would know from, this is down tune, by the way, to match the record. Down tune, one semitone. You got to down tune it. If you haven't done it before, if you're scared, just do it. This is an advanced tutorial, kind of. If you are doing this, I expect you know how to down tune. Basic chord sequence: F major 7, open E string, C, A, kind of minor 7 situation. Yeah, those three chords are mostly it, with some E minors in there. So something, yeah, so just going to this strumming, basically what it is we're doing 2 bars of the F major 7, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So what's going on there, it's basically there's 2 16th notes, yeah, those first 2 notes are taking up half the time as the other notes. So that's open B to first fret B. And by the way, you gotta hold the F major shape. If you're gonna learn it, you just gotta do it. So I'm gonna be doing it as it is. You're with that F major 7 shape, open B string, pointer finger, hammer onto the first. Now, and that was with the middle finger. Ring finger now, a high E string, pluck, open, and now middle finger, I'm gonna recommend it for now. Drop that pinky to the 3rd fret of the B string. And now remove the pinky, 1st fret, index finger, B string, and then remove that index finger, open B string. So you're gonna probably, just to learn, like get up to speed and everything, just do that slowly and then up to speed. So yeah, so you're gonna start almost hammering on the pinky, but pluck and pull off to do it up to speed. And so then when you're gonna incorporate the strumming, so and just so I've said it, it's A minor after that. Shift those 2 fingers up to kind of an E minor shape, but still with that 1st fret B. And then C major with the G bass, and then the F7 is where we're coming off of that. So the strumming, we're doing 2 bars of the F7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So that lick starts on the 2 and. So that and offbeat coming off the 2 into the 3. It's an up strum, so you're gonna emphasize that open B string and hammer on. Since it's 2 16th notes, that's fitting in before we get to that 3 beat. So, and you see I'm kind of hitting the neighboring string a little bit just because it's gonna be a little messy, but we try and be precise. So pointer finger, middle finger, trying to emphasize that B string pluck on the up strum, and then we're doing a down strum, so try and mute the top strings, meaning the thicker ones, and just like that, emphasize the open E string at the bottom. So we're on, and then we're on the up strum. So now, so that was and 3, 2/16 notes. Took up the time of the and 3 in the bar. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 3. And so now we're on the up strum of the 3 beat. And so we're up strumming, again, emphasizing that B string with the pinky on that 3rd fret. And now we are on the 4, so the down strum, raise that pinky off, and it's a hammer, it's like a pull off when we were practicing earlier, but at the same time we're still strumming through this chord. So either way, you're sounding it out, 1st fret B string, and finally up strum, the final beat of the bar, the 4 and up strum is on the open B string there. We took that finger off. So again, the box we're doing. And what that sounds like in the strum, we're gonna start it on the and of the 2 beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that was like very straight strumming kind of time, but it's, you know, there's a feel to it. You're thumping and stuff at this and muting, so that's how it sounds. Like you've heard already me do. It's like. And then into the verse. I can't recall the last time that we F 2 bars and then C. Take off the bass notes to reveal that open A string and back to F. I'll say a note here, variations on what you can do. It's so much fun with the verse, the F. So you could just have fun taking off that middle finger to reveal the open G string when you're doing the F, like, yeah. Another variation is removing that B string while you're strumming through the verses. Another variation is dropping that B, that pointer finger to the 1st fret of the high E string, making this chord. There's like a real kind of tense, kind of screechy quality, but it works like, they only shoot the birds who cannot sing. I'm finally aware. I thought it really works on that line because he's literally saying like the birds can't sing, and then your note is like so crunchy. It's kind of meta with the lyrics and the music. Something I had to really note is coming off that first chorus. It's like, you winched yourself across the great divide. Something to note there is that's the sound. So we're just like strumming the coming off the chorus. It's like, you winched yourself across the great divide. So I'm just calling that out, where you can nicely just follow that little tune, that little melody on the record, which is strumming the F7, and then you do this melody, which is you're strumming, but you take your middle finger off that F on the F shape again, that 2nd fret G string, and go off, hammer it on to the 2nd again, take it off again, and then switch to the C, just your regular C, which means that now you're focusing on that 2nd fret D string. So again, it sounds like, and in the thing that sounds like, you winched yourself across the great divide. Another thing is the E minors on the like verse. So I hope you settle down, I that's, what am I doing? Yeah, so the E minors there, that third fret B string is like right on with the melody. It's such a good lead in to that return to the F7, so really add that in. So also on the C major, you can play with taking off the second fret, middle finger, as it is very similar to what was going on with the F. And if you haven't done this before, literally like play with this on every song you know using these chords. It's a lot of fun. Another variation there with the C major is to bring your pointer finger up from first fret B string to second fret G string. Does a lot. Another variation there is to drop the, you're doing this F major 7 with the high E string open. Highly recommend dropping, like flattening your hand out to be fretting the first fret on the high E string with the pointer finger over there. So you could play with that as you're strumming, like. So I just threw in some variations there to show what it sounds like. Super fun. So then this big bridge solo thing that I like to do is basically you're coming off the bridge, so it's like rage in small ways. Did you think that I could know that you'd fade to someplace? I wasn't brave enough to go. I hope you settle down, I hope you marry rich. I hope you're scared of only ordinary shit. Like manners and goes and cancer on your skin, and not your soul. And what do you might do with it? And now you go, there's this big build, and the solo is like. So we're gonna do that opening lick again. Now here's where I recommend taking a different place. So it's when we're doing this E minor shape, I recommend dropping that pinky down to the third fret B string. So instead of do that, and then keep that pinky there as you switch to the C major shape. So it's as if we're doing C major, but with this variation, which is. Except we're keeping we're doing like a, this shape over here, which lets us go to a different place. So this is really cool. This is the exact same shape. This is C major over here with the bass G, with the pinky on the third fret B string. So this is 3, 3, 2, open, 3, open. And then you're just gonna slide that up. So now this is on the 8th fret. 8, 8, 7, open, 8, open. And what this is F major 7. But whereas previously in the song, we've always been either emphasizing the open E, or there's times where I haven't even mentioned this variation, but you want to drop your pinky down to the third fret high E string. I hope you settle down. Just like in the big choruses when you're singing, drop that pinky down to that high E string. And so there's these variations where F major 7 or F major with that high E string third fret pinky. And so you're having to choose between the open E string or the high E on the third fret. you have to choose between those like flavors of the sound, right? Well, that's the beauty of this chord up here where we just were, is you're capturing both of those because you have the open E on the bottom, but then that 8th fret B string is the same note we were just playing on the 3rd fret high E string. Ooh. So very flavorful, very beautiful. So now we're here. And again, I played it off the top of the video, but I'll just play again what I'm going to show you what it sounds like. So it's like coming off the bridge. Sounds super messy, but I like if it's really fun when you get the chords clean. It's beautiful. So again, we're starting off, we came to this where I'm going from there. It's like so I basically dropped the pinky, 2 fingers move with the pinky and the ring finger, and they moved. The pinky moved 1 down to the thinnest string. The ring finger moved like 3 strings down to the 2nd string. So it's a bit of a leap. So now I'm in like 8, muted, but it's not really muted, it's playing a harmonic. That finger is gently kind of just touching the string, the A string, the 2nd thickest string at the 8th fret. So it's harmonic kind of. So yeah, 8, harmonic, 7, open, 8, 8. So we went. And then we transitioned to this guy. So we were here. Now, you drop your pointer finger down a string. So it's still 7th fret to the G string. Extend your pinky to the 9th fret. Sorry, 10th fret. Yeah, so one thing at a time, sorry. So from the top we're that's where we are so far. Then what you're gonna do is return your pointer finger back to where it was. Move it up to the D string on the 7th fret. And where am I gonna go from there? Then I'm gonna go to that chord, which was you're gonna just drop that pointer finger back. So it's bouncing between these 2 strings. Drop it back down to the G string, and I'll raise your pinky, which was on the high E string, to the D string. And so now we are at 8, harmonic, 10th, 7th, 8th, open. So basically what's going on is the middle finger is on the 8th of the thickest string. The ring finger is on the 8th of the B string, the 2nd thing. And the pinky and the pointer are moving around and playing around. So, I mean, barring the first chord. So we started on the first chord, and then we went to, and then, now we go to, sorry, let me, I don't know if I'm losing this, is like, right. So now we come to this chord. So we release the pinky and we move the pointer finger up again to the D string. And so that's, again, 8, harmonic, 7, open, 8, open. Now we're gonna add some real tension, like asking a question musically by dropping the pinky on the 10th fret of the G string. So yeah, that's literally for like a up strum and a down strum, like it's very quick. So we were here, and then we're going to, now this is a new chord, it's the pointer finger drop down again to the G string, pinky to the, now it's not on the 10th fret but on the 9th fret of the D string. And then finally, so we're there for a bit. And then we just trade places with these guys. So the pointer finger moved up to the 3rd string, the D, and the pinky moved down physically to the higher notes to the G string. And now we do a bit of a hammer off, a pull off situation. So it's like dun, 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 dun. So that's pointer and pinky on the G string, 7th and 9th, and then so they do a double pull off, and then this is the same chord as, it's the 2nd chord we ever went to in this whole sequence. So I'm gonna just kind of gently, like slowly go through that and pluck it slowly so we see it again. So we're here, like coming off the bridge. So we were here, and then we go to here. So now we're here. Sorry. So now we're here, we just move the pointer finger up. So now this was like a tough one. You gotta move the pinky quick up to the 10th fret, and the pointer just moved down again. And now we go here, so we just took the pinky off, put that pointer finger up again, put the pinky down, so we're, it's like, and then, and then here. And then these guys just traded places, so. And then I just shift that pointer finger down to do the hammer off. Now finally, after letting that ring for a moment, come back to the original F major 7 shape that we started on. 8, 8, 7, open, 8, open. I hope you threw a brick right into that stained glass. So I really recommend this variation now. This is like a C major cage system. So this is like a G, your beginner shape, like your basic G shape, but at the 5th fret root, 8th fret root. So, but then we're just fretting the top 3 strings. So this is 8, 7, 5. 8, 7, 5, pinky ring pointer, and the rest is open. Which is like a C7 sort of situation. It's like a C over here with open B string. So again, we started with that F major 7. I hope you threw a brick right into that stained glass. And now an E minor variation. instead of over here, I hope you're with someone, is you can, because the E minor is like an A minor with a cage system up here. That's an E minor. So if you just literally do the two strings, like instead of, you know, the A and the D string, just do those 2 frets. So 7th and 9th on the A and the D. I hope you're someone who, and then back to the F major 7 at the bottom. Isn't scared to ask. I hope that you're not losing. Back to the C7. Sleep about what's next. And you could go back down to the basic E minor because it's deep, it's nice. Or not your soul, what he might do with it. F major 7 again, very nice. I think that covers everything I wanted to share in the video. So there's how to strum and thump and slap and pluck. That with chords. And then we talked about all kinds of strumming variations throughout the song. And finally, this big bridge situation. Nice. I'm happy with that, how that came out at least. As you can tell, I love the song. Could play it over and over again. So hope this was useful to somebody. Hope you have fun. Hope you love playing it too. Have a good one.